I don't even know what to say. I didn't make... I don't think I made a video after Calgary. Maybe I did. I didn't make one after Vancouver because I don't want this to be me just yelling every time they lose. But they deserve it, right? Like, oh my God. Okay. All right. I'm going to try to talk calmly about it. But I don't know why I'm going to try to talk calmly about it, because I know it won't end up being calm. Okay. We'll start here. You're up 4-3 with 2 minutes left. You're playing the Edmonton Oilers, who can score goals like it's nothing, because they have the best player on the planet and a top 5 player on the planet on their team. You get a power play, and you need to score on this power play because, like I said, you're only up 1, and these guys can literally just create goals out of thin air. And I see 2 defensemen on the power play. Oh, that's a smart decision. They're up by 1. They're trying to keep a lead. Well, clearly that didn't work out. So, I see, not only do I see 2 defensemen, I see Matejchuk, who I love. I love Matejchuk. He got put on a fucking poster 10 to 15 minutes before that. Then made an awful pinch in the neutral zone to lead to a fast break, and then proceeded to turn the puck over in his own zone all within 2 shifts. And that is who we put out on the power play when you have not won a game in 3 games on your road trip. You put out the guy who just maybe had the worst 3 minutes of his entire career on the power play when you're beating a team by 1 when they have the 2 best players on the ice. Explain to me why he is out there, okay? Explain to me why I see, I think, Werenski drop the puck off the boards to Matthew Olivier on a power play with 2 minutes left in the game. I don't understand. Matthew Olivier isn't on either power play unit, and neither is Matejchuk. Why were they out there? Oh my God. Oh. I had never screamed as loud as I had in my entire life when they tied up the game. Okay, now that that's out of my system, I'm going to have more complaining about the lines in a second. Hold on. I'm going to say some good things. Marchenko is so good. I'll talk about this tomorrow in a lengthier version of this. Marchenko is so good. I don't know if the Jackets have 3 wins this year if they don't have Kirill Marchenko. The Fantilli-Voronkov-Marchenko line is great. Fantilli scored tonight, which is great because he's been snake-bitten all year. Boone Jenner looked pretty good. Sean Monahan looked pretty good. Kent Johnson looked pretty good. Dante Fabro, who had been not good for almost the entire season, looked pretty good. They played very well tonight. And I know he's the best player in the world, so I'm sick of it, though. I'm sick of it. He's the best player in the world, right? I get it. I know he is. If I see a fucking spinorama backhand from the top of the circles go in, it is on the goalie. I don't care if he's the best player in the world. He could literally be flying. He could be the Flash. I don't care. If it's a spinorama backhand from the top of the circle and you are playing goaltender, you better save it. It's just unbelievable what I just witnessed. Just a crazy collapse. This team is going nowhere. This team is not making the playoffs. This team is taking a step back, and Dean Evison should not be the coach of the Columbus Blue Jackets. The reason this team is taking a step back, the reason this team is not over 500, the reason this team has lost 8 games instead of 3, 4, or even 5 is because Dean Evison's random hatred for Yegor Chinnikov. Dean Evison's inability until 2 games ago to make lines that properly work, and Dean Evison's inability to manage the lines he puts out. Okay. I don't know if the statistics back up his point of Zach Aston Reese being a good defensive player or not. I saw Zach Aston Reese against Connor McDavid way too much tonight. And it just had me thinking, does Zach Aston Reese and Dean Evison know something we don't about Connor McDavid? And then it got me thinking even more, clearly not, because he scored twice tonight. It's just, man, like, you think he's got it figured out, right? Like, you think he's got it. He puts Marchenko, Fantilli, Voronkov together, and it's like, wow, they really started clicking, right? He's got Ken Johnson not on the fourth line. Don't even get me started on that. And then he's deploying Matthew Olivier on a power play with 2 minutes left when they're up a goal. You could say, oh, well, he doesn't want the young guys, the inexperienced guys out there with 2 minutes left. He wants guys that are stable defensively out there so they don't score. Well, 1, it didn't work. And 2, I don't think Matthew Olivier is that good defensively. Like, what? And then, also, if the argument is putting out someone who's good defensively, Werenski's fine defensively, but you sure wouldn't have Werenski out there. Werenski gets caught pinching all the time. He makes really dumb turnovers, and that's just kind of what happens with Zach Werenski. He's very good in transition from offense to defense. He breaks up pucks quite a bit. But if you want a guy that's going to be stable defensively for you, Zach Werenski, Den Matejchuk are not the pair you would go with. So I'm really struggling to find what the point of what he put out there was. And you could be like, well, the roster's not good enough. And I would argue you're completely wrong. They have the Norris runner-up from last season. They have Kirill Marchenko, who is on like a 45-goal pace and is on a 9 or 8 game point streak. They have the 3rd overall pick and this is his 3rd year, and he scored 30 goals last year. They have the 5th overall pick, who was on pace for 70 points last year and was playing on the 4th line 2 games ago. And then you have a guy who you drafted 12th overall, who has made significant steps forward and is looking like a very good top 4 defenseman who got put on a poster tonight, but that's not the point. You have a guy you just paid $8.5 million, whether you think that's a good idea or not, you paid it. The roster is good. It's good. You could go down the lineup. That's a good roster. What's the weakest point? Isaac Lundestrom and Zach Aston-Reese. All right, they're your fourth liners, though. That's fine. They're supposed to be your weakest link. That's why they're on your fourth line. They're not going to play as much unless you're playing the Edmonton Oilers and you're trying to shut down Connor McDavid. I guess you put Zach Aston-Reese out there and Isaac Lundestrom. I've been told Isaac Lundestrom's good at defense, but, I mean, clearly he's not that good. I'm okay with having guys that are good at defense that are forwards. Cole Sillinger is that. He had the flu tonight. He couldn't play. That sucks, but Cole Sillinger is that. You know what Cole Sillinger can do? While his shot is atrocious and he can't score very much, he makes plays happen. He stops the team from making plays happen. He stops the other team from making plays happen. And he creates, and he can score. It's in his bag to score. That is a defensive forward. That Cole Sillinger is. What Isaac Lundestrom is where offense goes to kill itself. And what Zach Aston-Reese is where hockey goes to kill itself. Zach Aston-Reese doesn't do anything offensively, and he doesn't do anything defensively either. I don't care what statistics there are. He gets caved in his own zone so often. And I'm watching him try his darn hardest to keep up with Connor McDavid tonight, but he can't. And that's not his fault. He shouldn't have to. He's Zach Aston-Reese. He's played in the AHL within the past 3-4 years. He shouldn't have to keep up with Connor McDavid. That shouldn't be his job. And honestly, he could have done worse. But man. Another thing I'm going to say that I've noticed is, while Connor McDavid does not get calls his way very often, they ignore a lot of the stuff he does too. Connor McDavid set 3 or 4 picks tonight and held Zach Aston-Reese's stick at least 3 times. He got called for it once, but Zach Aston-Reese also got called for a hook. So, whatever. All I'm saying is, I hear a lot about, they don't call anything for McDavid. McDavid's drawn 0 penalties in this playoff series. Yeah, well, they've probably ignored a lot of stuff McDavid's done the entire series as well. I know, I'm sounding like a hater right now, but I watched that game tonight, and I saw a lot of infractions from Connor McDavid. Anyways, and Leon Draisaitl, by the way. Those two just love holding the opponent's stick and getting away with it. They're the best players in the league, so whatever. I mean, obviously they would have put up the numbers they did tonight even without doing that. I'm just saying, I don't want to hear the complaining. They both commit a lot of penalties. Connor McDavid could have gotten called for 4 or 5 tonight. He also probably could have drawn 4 or 5 tonight. I'm just saying, it evens out. I don't want to hear it. But that's distracting from the point. Jack Greaves last year and for early parts of this year was like a little safety heated, weighted blanket. Jack Greaves the last 3 out of his 4 starts has been not good. I think he faced 20 shots tonight. I think 21, maybe. 5 goals. Not good enough. That's not good enough. They have played good their last 2 games. And this is actually killing me to say. Their goaltending has let them down both times. One of them was Elvis, and the other was Jet. And if you were to ask me right now, currently who I'd rather have in net, I'd tell you Elvis, I think. Jet I love him, and I think he's a good goalie, but dude, some of the stuff he's doing, and again, it's Connor McDavid, right? Connor McDavid kind of comes down the right right side of the boards. And unfortunately, it's Marchenko who's got to deal with him. I don't know what either of the defensemen were doing. Marchenko tries his darn hardest, and he pushes him to the outside, and McDavid cuts in, and Jet is not long enough to just stretch out his pads and make that save. He is short for a goalie. He is not lengthy enough to make that save, and again, it's Connor McDavid, right? But he's not. While that goal, the goal could have gone in, and he also could have done the right thing, right? In that instance, you have to push. You have to push off your skate, right? You're not long enough to cover both ends of the net, right? So you got to push off. At the same time, there should have been a defenseman on Connor McDavid, and McDavid should have never got that scoring chance. And even if you are 6'3" like Elvis is, there is still a very good chance that goal goes in the net. I'm just saying, more than one thing can go wrong, and that's what happened there. Yeah, and you can say, well, what do you want Jet to do? All you want. He's a goalie. I want him to make a save. That is his job. Oh, you can't blame the goalie. Fucking watch me, dude. He had an 800 save percentage tonight. Like, what? That's atrocious. I don't care how high danger the chances are. It's your job. It's your job to stop the puck from going in the net. And if the other team has 21 shots on net, you can't let in 5 of them. That goes the same for Stuart Skinner as well. Stuart Skinner sucks. He's really bad. But Jet looked worse. He did. He looked worse tonight. I'm not going to blame him on that fourth goal. That's really one where it's like, what do you want your guy to do? It literally just rides up the stick of, I forget who it was. It just rides up the stick of somebody and goes over Jet's shoulder. Can't do anything about that. That one I'll give him a pass on. But the Spinorama one, you really want him to have it. I know you're not expecting a Spinorama or whatever, but I mean, he shot that backhand from like the top of the circle. You got to save that. You know, I know you're not expecting it. I know it's Connor McDavid, but man, dude, like, come on. Here's what I'll say: the Jackets the last 2 games have played the right way. Have scored enough goals to win, and have been playing relatively well. They played awful against Calgary, I know. But their goaltending has failed them the last 2 games. I don't think their goaltending is bad. I don't think Jet is bad. I don't think Elvis is bad. I think they've had 3 off nights in a row now. Jet let in 5 against Calgary. You can go, how many do you blame him for? I don't know, but 9 goals in your last 2 starts when I think you faced a total of like 45 shots, that's not good enough. If their goaltending can get back to what it was, I think they'll be fine. I think they will end up being okay, but they are not a playoff team, and they are not a team that can make any noise if Dean Evison continues to be the head coach, or if he continues to coach the way he is. Again, I've said it before, I have no problem with his systems at all. I think his systems are great. I think they've significantly improved the Jackets. I have a problem with the lines that he creates. I have a problem with his line management. His line deployment is just atrocious. Like, atrociously bad. And I don't like that he just seems to have something against the younger players that you want to build the future around here. Like, he clearly hates Yegor Chinnikov. He put Ken Johnson on the 4th line, playing with Zach Aston-Reese and someone else. I forget who now. Who cares? And he refused to try Fantilli, Marchenko, Voronkov when both Monahan and Fantilli were having slow starts. until a couple games ago, and now look at it. Fantilli's ended his goalless streak and has 3 points in his last 2 games. Like, why did that take 13 games to try? Unbelievable. That's unreal. Oh, man. I really wonder what's going on in his head. I talk about the line deployment. I've said it before, but Olivier, I love Olivier, but Olivier on a power play chance with 2 minutes left in the game when you're up 1 against a very dangerous team that can score many goals is not the guy I would put out there. If you're going for defense, Olivier? Sure, if you want him to knock someone's head off, sure. But if you're going for defense, sure, put out 2 defensemen. Werenski and Matejchuk, though? No, that's not correct. I don't understand what he's trying to do. And honestly, with John Davidson announcing the game tonight, I was hoping we would get a little bit of insight, right? Like, why this is happening, why certain things are going on, why the deployment is what it is. But no, I get none. You get none of it. You don't get anything. So, I don't know. I want to know what they're going to do. I want to know if they're going to fix it. I want to know if they're going to make any moves. I want to know a lot. But I know nothing. So, yeah. That's it.